Now, all is set for the people of Dagbon to adore their new overlord, Bukari Mahama, the 7th on Friday after 17 years of protracted chieftaincy dispute. The historic event to be graced by President Akufo-Addo could unite the two age-old factions of one of the country's largest ethnic groups. JoyNews' Justice Baidu is in the Gbewa Na Palace, where the ceremony will be taking place, and has come through, and he joins us right now to bring us the very latest. Thank you very much, Justice. So, Justice, paint a picture of the mood in Yendi tonight ahead of the event tomorrow.
So as I speak to you, Israel, the curfew hours have kicked in, and so the streets of Yendi itself is empty at the moment. But when we came in just after midday, the town itself was very much alive. Many schools had closed school hours earlier than usual. There was a lot of excitement in town, and many of them are very much looking forward to the big day tomorrow, which is expected to be graced by the President, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, who earlier in the day also made a very huge entry into the regional capital, Tamale, with a huge crowd made up of motor riders going to the airport to meet him and ushering him into the Tamale town. He's expected here tomorrow morning. The Gbewa Na Palace, which is where we are at the moment, is just being made over for tomorrow. When we came in earlier, there were vehicles that were moving in with chairs, raising of tents. The palace itself is being painted, and lots of people who are arriving, a lot of the guest houses, hotels are booked to capacity. It tells you the number here tomorrow.
All right, we're having some breaks in the audio connection there to Justice Baidu. But Justice, if you can hear me, it appears we have Justice back. Yes. Justice, what have the people been telling you?
Which comes 17 years after the brutal killing of Yana, Yakubu, and Dani, which sparked many years of back and forth over a chieftaincy dispute
that was to decide who was the rightful person to succeed him. We've gone through two very historic funerals, one over Christmas and one in the New Year, which has now opened the gate for this outdooring of the new Yana tomorrow. The MCE for Mayor joins me at the moment to tell me, Honorable, what are we to expect tomorrow?
Tomorrow is such a great day. We expect the entire Dagbon to come here, joined by His Excellency, the President of the Republic, and the whole world for the coronation of the new Yana, as you explained, following the resolution of the age-old Dagbon problem, chieftaincy issue. We have been lucky as government. The two funerals of the late Muhammad Abdullahi and the late Yana Andani Yakubu was performed. Following that performance, a new Yana has been enskinned in the person of Yana Abukari Muhammad II. The entire Dagbon are so happy that this problem has been resolved and we have a new Yana. For that matter, tomorrow, everybody is expected to be here. And I want to assure everybody, as the President said, he was neither Abudu nor Andani. Tomorrow, Dagbon will experience a situation where you will see no Abudu or Andani, but you will see the Gombes coming together to outdoor a Yana who, in his capacity, would also make sure that Dagbon move forward and regain his past glory that was affected by the unfortunate incident that affected us 17 years ago.
We know the president will be here, obviously, and I've also seen on the itinerary tomorrow the Asante Hene Otumfuo 32, who would also be speaking at some point. Apart from these two, who else are we expecting, and how is the day going to go?
We expect, apart from His Excellency the President, the Otumfuo representatives, we expect the eminent chiefs, through whose effort that we achieve this. All 10 regional House of Chiefs wants to be represented. The President of the National House of Chiefs is coming. Diplomatic corps are coming. All political parties are coming to be represented here. Lot of other well-meaning Dagombes in abroad and elsewhere are all coming together here tomorrow to witness this.
Okay. So, as he's saying, it's a truly historic event that we are expecting to happen tomorrow. Many people, and I can see the inner perimeters of the Gwewa Palace, which has been made up for tomorrow's event. Earlier in the day when we came in, the painting of the symbolic lion of the Dagbon people was being done here, and we put together a story speaking to some people, and then this is what we put together, Israel.
All right.
Inside the Nagbewa Palace, the symbolic lion of Dagbon is getting a makeover ahead of the big day. Bawa Hudu Al-Hassan is one of the young men making a beautiful painting of the lion at the entrance of the palace.
The lion signifies, that is the symbol for Dagbon. So the king, the Yana, he is the lion. And this is the symbol that signifies Dagbon. Everywhere you see lion, you see that there's the Gombas there. Both Abudu and Dane, we are all here. We are happy, and we thank Almighty Allah.
In the inner perimeters of the palace too, a motor grader is leveling the field with more clay while water is sprinkled to control the dust. This town is readying itself for some of its biggest guests of all time, says Alhaji Ahmed Abubakar Yusuf, the MC here.
Tomorrow is going to be exactly the 7th day after the Yana was unskinned. And by custom, tomorrow is the day that he will have to enter the palace, the Jawa Palace, but to be outdoor to the public. So he is expected to be outdoor to the public, to talk to the public for the first time.
For the people in this town who for years endure the conflict that the absence of a substantive king has caused, tomorrow cannot come soon enough.
We're expecting a significant number of people. Just the Yana alone, he's got over 400 chiefs under his direct jurisdiction. And then there are over thousands of sub-chiefs beyond that. And all these chiefs are supposed to be here. This is one of the greatest moments in the last 100 years, whereby the Dagomba people have had unified one chief, or one king, I must admit. Previously, we've had Abudu King, Andane King. Now there is neither Abudu nor Andane. This is a unifier.
For years, the Lion of Dagbon went to sleep, and in its absence, its people paid the price, some with their lives. Now, with a new king to be outdoored in a matter of hours, it can roll back to its rightful place. And with it, it is hoped peace and development. Justice Beidou, JoyNews, Yendi.
Now moving on to other big story for the evening. The Upper East Regional Security Council has been meeting over the deadly mine blast Agbane amidst growing tension amongst the youth over operations of mining firm there, Shangzi. The death toll now stands at 17, with 4 others in critical condition at the Upper East Regional Hospital. Families of the deceased say they are traumatized as they troop into the hospital to identify bodies of their relatives. I'm joined on the line right now by Albert, our regional correspondent. Hello, Albert. So you bring us the very latest as far as the death toll. We're told is now 17, the number of people who are still in hospital.
Yes, Israel. As at 11 a.m. this morning, when the Regional Security Council finished their meeting and proceeded to go visit victims at the hospital, the death toll was at 16. So we proceeded from there to the mine area at Bani, where we later heard that one more person had died. At the time, the hospital was not immediately able to confirm, but is now being widely reported. So the death toll, we now can confirm that the number is 17. Now, in the afternoon, the number in critical condition were 4 when the death toll was 16. So our understanding now is that one of those 4 who were in critical condition is the one who has passed on. So the Deputy Regional Minister, Frank Christine Adongo, was the one who led the Regional Security Council to visit the hospital and to try and commiserate with people who have lost their relatives. He's also been urging the youth who he said he got information that they had been planning to agitate because of this issue to remain calm while the investigations continue. At the Bani mine site, he was taken to the exact spot where the miners, the exact site where they passed and went underground. And he spoke to us afterwards. We can listen to what he had to. We can listen to what he had to tell us after he was shown the place where the miners used to go underground before the accident happened.
And we are by one of the pits they call Bantama. We have viewed that maybe the pit, just the entrance of the pit, it has been barricaded and locked with some heavy padlock. The scene is not really good because the heat alone that is rising from the pit is something that we can't measure. So we're asking people around who have been here for some time to know whether even there will be some bodies still maybe lying inside. But one of the young men said if they are given the permission, maybe they can go inside to really survey to see whether the pit contains dead bodies still or not. Which the BRESEC will take a decision on it. I want to say that maybe the inhabitants around here, or yesterday we got information that they were massing up to the act. We don't actually know who their target is, but we are assuring them that they should exercise some restraint. They should be calm, and that we are working to be able to gather some information and gather some facts.
All right, so we heard, as we just heard, the youth there agitating. Albert, I'm trying to understand why would they want to agitate? Because my understanding is that now Shangzi is actually more of a mine services contractor, and they're providing mining services, and they actually don't own the mine. What is the source, or why are the youth intending to agitate?
They said that they suspect the Shangji mine deliberately carried out the blast. One of the youth we actually spoke to said that they were still trying to get those who were underground to come out when they went ahead to carry out the blast. We spoke to some of the youth of Bani at the mine site. We can also hear them.
Yesterday in particular, we sent a team to the Regional Police Command. And we only asked him one question. We said,
what caused the death, what chemical. Because under normal circumstances, if it's normal blasting, this thing couldn't have happened this way. But we suspect that they might have added a chemical that has caused this great disaster. So our interest, the entire community, our interest is we want to know what actually caused the death of our people. 16 people are lying here. Yesterday I was with them, they were okay. But this moment I've seen that some of them are on oxygen. So we are very, very perturbed, we are disturbed, we are worried. So we want all the authorities this time round to go into the depth of this case so that we'll know what actually caused the death of our people. In the community we are calm. We are peace-loving Ghanaians, law-abiding Ghanaians. We will not do anything. We are waiting for the final report. That is our stand. We will not disturb.
When we were going down, we were 3 people, and then when they sent us that we should go and then lead them, we were leading them. Our daddy, he said we should go and sack them because they said they were saying that they are arresting them every day. So when we went there, we were sacking them. Even the engineer were there.
We were sacking who?
Our people, because they were ready to blast, and it were not time. So we were sacking them. The engineer were there. The manager were there, even the securities, those that are our parents, they were there. They were following us. Instead of them to tell us that today we are going to mix poison and did the blasting, they didn't tell us. And we thought we were helping them to sack, not knowing that they were planning to kill us. So we sacked people, like 300 people from down. We sacked them, and then those that rallied, some people dodged and went to down again, and then they did the blast. Afterward, I was in the house, and then they came and called me.
Now, Albert, sorry, our regional correspondent is still on the line. Now, Albert, I want you to explain something. It appears there's some tension between the youth there and the mining companies. And my understanding is that the Shangzi is actually a mine services contractor for 2 mining firms there. Please explain this relationship between these 2.
Yes, so the Shangji mining company is owned by Chinese who we are told have a permit to provide mine support services to 2 locally licensed small-scale miners who have concessions in the area. Now, the reason there is tension is that these local miners also have their own pits, which existed long before Shangji Mining Company came to start working in the area. So the argument usually from these youth is that the Shangji Mining Company doesn't want them in the area. So when they know they are underground trying to also look for their livelihood, as they put it, they deliberately carry out some of these blasts as a way of deterring them from going underground. And that the youth, the gentleman who was speaking was making the allegation that usually they blasted, nothing happened, but they suspect that this time a poisonous substance was deliberately used to carry out the blast. But because the Shangji Mining Company is also denying this, but because the Minerals Commission and the police are yet to conclude investigation as to exactly what this chemical was and how the blast occurred and whether safety precautions were followed, it's difficult for us to conclude at this point.
All right, thank you very much, Albert. Sorry, bringing it that update there. Now, Latif Idris, who is with Land and Natural Resources Minister Kwekwa Sumachreme, and he's also in the area and joins us live now. Latif, what can you report? All right, we have lost Latif Idris on the line. Hopefully, we can get him back. But let's listen to the medical director of the Upper East Regional Hospital.
Said to be a mine accident, and a lot of the patients came early in the morning yesterday. That's on the 23rd January 2019. Initially, we received 3 dead bodies from outside. We also had our 3 dead on arrival. They've been managed. During the course of the day, we lost another 3 in the facility, and an extra number of bodies were also brought from the community. Presently, we are managing about 15 patients in the hospital presently.
Could you give us an update on the oxygen situation?
Yes, you know, by and large, the large majority, in fact, all of them are suffering from inhalation toxin. They smelt gas. So the main treatment is the oxygen. So, and 100% oxygen. And these are products that we buy from outside. We don't produce. So even if you produce, you need to maintain the equipment. We take them from Kumasi and Tamale. So it drained our oxygen, and that affects our routine care to other patients.
As it stands, do you have the capacity with regards to the oxygen to handle casualties that may come in?
It has put us on a thin line. We have no option than to manage them, but we will welcome any support that will make sure that we have them, because they should be available.
Now, the Economic and Organized Crime Office is taking steps to retrieve some $25,000 from a car rental company that bought cars from Boku Central MP Mahama Yarga. The amount, according to Yoko, is a sum total of monies accrued from the use of the car. JoyNews has a copy of the letter from Yoko to the company. We'll bring you the details shortly. But first, my colleague Joseph Opoku Gakpo joins me in the studio to give us a background to this story. Thank you very much, Joseph, for joining us. Joseph, we know the Office of the Special Prosecutor is investigating this, but what is the background to the story?
So we understand that sometime in 2016, Mahama Yarega relied on a facility that allows for MPs to get some form of subsidy when they're importing vehicles into the country, and brought in 3 Land Cruiser vehicles. The special prosecutor is claiming that there was some form of tax evasion even in bringing in those vehicles, and that's what he's been investigating, to the extent that you'd recall the bit about the call records of Mahama Yarega being the directive from the court that it should be handed over by MTN to the Office of the Special Prosecutor. There's a bit of it that the Special Prosecutor claims that Mahama Yarega has been attempting to interfere with the investigation by coordinating it with an official of GRA, and it's based on that he's investigating him on that bit as well.
All right, but Mahama Yarega has also been speaking to this.
He says one of the things he intends fighting is the directive from the courts that he should hand over his court records. He's not ready to do it. The other bit is the letter that you mentioned. Yoko has written to this car rental company. What happened was Mr. Yarega subsequently sold the 3 vehicles to a car rental company that goes by the name Atlas Rent a Car, and they've been using it for business for some time now. They've been interrogated by officials of Yoko, the MD of that company, and he was asked about how much money has accrued from the use of that vehicle even as they rent it out, and he mentioned that figure. It's based on that the Yoko boss is asking him to submit that money,
the proceeds,
the proceeds of that as exhibits even as they go through the process to try to recover the said amount. But they've replied, his lawyer has replied and said that they are not letting go of the money because they dealt with Ayarega, and Ayarega should have cleared up all tax issues in relating to the vehicle.
All right, thank you very much, Joseph Okukapo, bringing us that update.